Warning, this podcast, website, and associated social media accounts are intended for audiences of legal drinking age. We do not advocate overconsumption or the abuse of alcohol. Never drink and drive, drink responsibly. And please remember to always take what we say with a grain of salt. After all, we are just some dudes with some brews.
We started out by crawling out from under the thumb of the man. The lovers of God with dad bods just trying to feed our fam. Go sit right there and grab a beer, you know just what to do. Throw it back, get hammered, and listen to dudes and brews.
Me?
Yeah.
Nice.
Got that radio voice, dog.
Nice. No one's ever said that to me.
I mean, some people just have good voices. I always thought it was weird hearing myself. Now I've gotten used to it.
Yeah, I'm used to it.
But at first, it was like real weird.
Yeah. I've worked in enough call centers where, you have to listen to yourself, so I got used to it years ago.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Listen
Because
to
you have to, listen
those
back
calls.
to be like, how'd you handle this?
Right.
And, because I've done bill collecting, cold call sales, customer service.
Right.
I've done it all, and it's like kind of rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
So maybe that's how I honed my voice. Have a nice, smooth delivery.
Yeah.
Hey, man, would you like to pay your credit card debt?
Didn't you do like window washing sales or something stupid?
No, window
I
washing.
thought you did like cold calls,
I
like
did cold
selling people
call.
how to
So what I would do
sell
was
like window washing services.
No, it was credit card processing machines.
Oh.
So we would call and ask for business owners.
Yeah.
And I wasn't trying to sell the credit card machine. I was trying to sell the idea of a salesman coming to sell the credit card machine. So it's like, oh yeah, it's kind of like, oh, it's no big deal. We're just kind of in the area, we're just gonna swoop by. Even you as a business owner, when at first it's like, okay, yeah, no big deal. But whenever you get called by the same people every day for the last 10 years, it gets to a point where you're like, as soon as we say, can I speak to the business owner, they know.
Nope.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah.
happening. I mean, you probably already have that right now, don't
From
you?
like Google, yeah.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Like credit card machine, like everybody's got a credit card processing machine.
Yeah.
Nobody needs a new one.
Hmm.
So it's a service that,
New technology or something? I don't know.
POS system, yeah.
yeah.
Like a new POS system? Yeah, I can see that. Upgrading?
But then it's like, I don't know anything about it. So
Right.
all I know is Terry Bradshaw is in the video that they're going to show you.
Nice.
Yeah.
I learned today that apparently Terry Bradshaw was also a country singer at one point.
Really?
Put out a country album. Learned that today. So.
That, like
Oh, sure.
10 Degrees of Kevin Bacon.
Oh,
where it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
this person. There needs to be something about,
10
like,
Degrees
I don't
of
know,
Ki-
things that Terry Bradshaw's done. Like
10
he's
Degrees of
he's
Terry
in
Bradshaw.
WWF or something. And then in some way, 10 Degrees, he's associated with everything.
Right.
He's been in a movie too, right?
I think.
I mean,
at
I've
least,
seen
if
him-
not
I
10
would think.
Degrees from a movie.
I seen him in a TV show before.
Oh, he's been in movies because think about like Little Giants. I think he was in Little Giants, but like any football movie where he's a role model.
When he in like Space Cowboys or something?
Look, he's gonna have his movies right here.
known for Cannonball Run.
Cannonball
Wow,
Run.
that's old school.
Was he in that like those
Really?
movies right
Smokey
there?
and the Bandit 2?
Failure to Launch.
Really? He was smoking.
Okay.
Too. Nothing's better than the original though.
No, nothing's better. Like the original Bandit's great. Yeah, I guess he's from.
There's
he
a lot,
was-
but if you look at a lot of them, he plays Terry Bradshaw.
Oh yeah,
It's kind of like he's that style of person.
he just
where-
plays himself. He's
Yeah.
famous enough. He just plays himself. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. A lot of these are that, or a coach. Just he is Terry Bradshaw,
Yeah.
but, dude, it's Oktoberfest season.
Yay.
I love Oktoberfest. Now, granted, the last time I went to Oktoberfest, I felt like I stood in line more than anything. Today, there are no lines, but we do have good beer.
There is a line of beers.
Yeah. A line of beers. So, pick one out, Larry.
All right.
Whichever one that you want. And today, we've got my boy Robert Veach with us. Thanks for coming on the show, buddy.
Thanks for having
Really
me,
appreciate
man.
it. So we're gonna crack open an Oktoberfest. When's the have you been to an Oktoberfest lately? In the
No.
last few years?
Nope.
No? Have you ever been to one?
Nothing besides a beer fest.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But I mean,
Like McKinney does an Oktoberfest every year.
I have not
You-
made it to that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the only one I've been to. and it's literally they have beer tents. You can go get beer. They've got some games, like you can do Stein holding. And then they have like a carnival for like kids to play and stuff.
Definitely it's been on my radar. I had just never been able to make it.
Really? Okay. Yeah. It's fun. I will say McKinney's is great, but it's so busy.
Yeah.
That no joke. The last time we went, we got a beer. We literally let's go get back in line. And then by the time we got done with our beer, we were at the front of the line again. That's how busy it was.
And it's like downtown, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a little too busy, in my opinion. But it's fun if you like Oktoberfest beer and you like German style.
You want to grab one?
Absolutely. Thank you,
Oh,
sir.
what's up? I love this, the way you're sharing it with us here.
Yeah, I'm serving it up like with the paddle.
Sweet.
Yeah,
So-
I wouldn't go back to the McKinney one again.
No, I wouldn't. I would
I
do
don't
like
even
if a
think it was
brewery
fun.
was doing one, I would go there.
Yeah, but then I think it'd be the same thing as a beer fest.
Right.
So, have you guys been to the beer fest?
like
Like the Untappd Beer Fest or
like the Big Texas Beer Fest or
Big
something?
Texas Beer Festival down at Cotton Bowl?
No, I've done the one that they do here in Sherman.
Okay, that's
Uh,
Craft the Night Away.
Yep, real
Yeah.
small.
Yep.
I did one last year at the Dallas Farmers Market. It was
Okay,
called the Dallas Observers Brew Fest.
Okay.
But those are the only two I've ever been to. Have you?
Nope.
Have you done
So-
the Craft the Night Away even?
Nope.
Oh, really?
Other than I drive by there because that's on my way home.
Oh, okay.
So every year
Yeah,
I drive through there and I'm like, oh man, why did I not do it?
Oh, I should have done that.
Yeah, I should have done it.
So we always get the VIP tickets for the Texas.
Oh, okay,
one,
cool.
You know, down at Fair Park, and the most important thing is the VIP tickets. So you get that, you get in 1 hour earlier than general public,
Sweet.
and you get access to like special tents and stuff. But literally, the Cotton Bowl is literally wrapped with beer vendors. So you're looking
Oh, I
at
gotcha.
1,000+ beers.
Holy
Wow.
cow.
Yeah.
It's almost too much, almost overwhelming. Like, where do you start? You're like,
So-
how dare you say that's too
Yeah.
much?
So
He
I-
looked at me wrong.
I was super excited when we moved down here 8 years ago. I got to go to it.
Uh-huh.
Took some friends. Man, I had a spreadsheet made.
Oh, yeah.
And like kind of a map I had already looked at. Where we're gonna go hit up, get some Bourbon County, from Goose Island right away.
Oh, nice.
And
yeah.
of course, plan always fails, and then there's a hellacious line. So they're like, okay, let's go to option number 2. Well, soon enough, then a beer gets dumped on the spreadsheet or the map, and like the whole plan just kind of goes to shit. So then we're just like, let's wing it from this point on. And yeah, it's almost impossible to make it like to every tent.
Oh, yeah. I
Oh,
bet.
it's not happening.
Yeah, but
It's just you start somewhere and you just go down the line and you get as far as you can until
Yeah,
you got
and you have a
stumble into
plan.
the hotel room.
You're hoping to designated driver, obviously.
that or a hotel nearby. I would say,
Uber to a hotel or something. But big plan is to, hey, we're gonna start off light, and we're not gonna try to mix beers, right? And we're gonna hit the imperial stouts at the end and the barley wines and things like that. Nope. Because nothing there is coordinated to where, hey, let's put all the light beers down here and kind of work our way. So
Yeah.
man,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
mixing the whole time, and
nice.
it's great.
So
Sounds
this
fun.
is Allstat. Have you ever had anything from them, Larry?
Not off the top of my head. I mean, it looks familiar.
Delicious.
It looks familiar. I picked this one out because it seems like the most authentic Oktoberfest, just by optics.
Oddly enough, I think they're out of Fredericksburg, which is down by Austin.
Oh,
Which
Texas.
is also a German town.
Oh, is it really? Oh, that makes sense. That makes a whole lot of sense now that you say that. Thanks for making me feel dumb. No, it's fine.
You
No,
feel dumb about that?
I felt dumb not knowing that. But,
Fredericksburg.
yeah,
You guys say it with a German accent.
but these are their big beers right here. Like their Kolsch is really good. Their lager's good. I've had
they have
those.
the same look on everything, huh?
Yeah.
There's the
So
Hefe.
I'm sure that you've seen these in the store.
I don't. Yeah, they look familiar, but you know how I am about consistency, and I really like this line. Like I like to see like a line of beers like that where they all have the same vibe to them.
And you feel the cans, like those cans, like the labels, they have like, they protrude from the can a little
Yeah,
bit, almost like embroidery or something. It's like super neat.
Oh yeah, it's like they do
Kinda like they do in the bottle right
gold
here.
flake or something on it.
Yeah, because they do have. You can feel that texture. That's cool though on a can.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
the
it's-
Hefe is probably my favorite one that they do.
Yeah, I need to try it. Their Kolsch and their lager are phenomenal. They do really good like 2 style beers.
Mm-hmm.
You get what it says.
I have not seen the amber anywhere.
Maybe they don't
Not
distribute it
by-
out here. I don't know.
Yeah, not by just seeing the color of the can and stuff. I don't recognize it.
But this is hella good.
It's pretty good.
It's
smooth.
It's highly carb, which is what you want. It's malty. It's not too sweet. Larry's over there pounding it.
That one's good.
Yeah, that is very easy to drink.
Mm-hmm. All right,
Yeah.
tough competition, right? Starting off with that one.
I mean, it starts off good. I really like it. St. Arnold's is always good. I haven't had this
Can't go wrong
year's.
with St. Arnold.
Pedicolis, they're out of Dallas, so we'll definitely get to it.
Mm-hmm.
But Rob, I wanted to ask you, man. You got to tell us, how did you get into craft beer?
So, long story. Basically, I'll try to keep it somewhat sweet. I can kind of go off on a tangent, but
Oh, okay. Well, I'll try to rein you in.
Yeah.
So-
He'll start giving you a fishing thing like this.
So I was born in Texas, was raised in Texas. When I was 18, I moved to Wisconsin. So got a friend there that I was a huge Coors Light guy. That was, you know, coming out of high school, you know, and stuff. And Coors Light, that's where it was at, right? So I get up there and met my pretty much my best friend, Rob. And Rob introduced me to craft beers. So
cool.
a lot of them, especially like stouts and stuff, man, I couldn't get them down at all.
Oh, yeah.
Like I literally could not finish a stout. There was a Bigfoot barley wine, which
Okay.
was, you don't ever start anybody out with a Bigfoot barley wine. He thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, no.
But you know, he's like, you can't dump it because, of course, that's, you can't dump a beer. So I would take the Bigfoot barley wine and put Skittles in it,
Oh, nice. Okay.
and it helped.
Okay.
I could choke it down. But anyways,
Oh, it's
hanging out
Sierra
with him.
Nevada. I didn't realize
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Existed.
Dude, that thing, it's, and so we would go out. I hung out with him. He, my good old buddy pal, so we'd hit the clubs every weekend
Right.
and stuff. And he'd try to introduce me to all these different craft beers. And then I think the very first one that kind of was like sparked my interest was New Glarus Spotted Cow. So
You've told me about this. I've never heard of it
Yes.
until
So
then.
that's Spotted Cow is essentially the go-to social drink, in Wisconsin. So
Really? Is it it's brewed in Wisconsin?
yes,
It's like they're like, it's not a Bach, but I would compare it to like the popularity of like Shiner here.
It
in
is
Texas,
a
right?
farmhouse.
Okay.
Yeah,
But
so-
but could you compare it to like the popularity of like a Shiner here in Texas?
no,
Like most people have got this on tap.
tell you the truth, to try a farmhouse to that one, it's difficult.
Okay.
I can't think of one off the top of my head. I've had a ton of beers, so no, it's my favorite. I've cloned it. It's my go-to. So that got me into craft drinking, and I've stuck with it since. And then kind of just expanded. It started, and then slowly Rob would help me come up with to drink some IPAs and some darker ones, porters and stuff. And next thing you know, man, I'll drink beers from all over the world.
Right.
I love them all.
Right.
I think my only weakness, if I had to pick one, would probably be, and I'm not saying I don't dislike them, I just don't like them as much, is probably a Scottish ale.
Okay.
Some
Yeah, I haven't had
they're
enough
kind
of
of,
'em.
yeah, I kind of got to be in the mood for them, but yeah.
I've come to find I don't like a red ale all that much.
Okay.
So It's weird that one of the first times we did a red
Right,
ale, and I was
right.
like, yeah, not a fan. And it's not that I don't know that we brewed it bad. It just
It was
I don't
probably
like
bad.
I don't like a red ale.
Well, that's too bad.
I mean,
But so
It
I can
is what
thank
it
Rob.
is.
I can thank Rob for getting me into craft brews.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Nice.
Rob.
And
And
did
then
you start brewing up there, or did you not brew till you
I
came
started.
to Texas?
I started it again, once again. So me and Rob would go out and stuff, and next thing you know, Rob brews his own beer, and he's like, "Man, how cool is it to have?" You know, he had his own tap already and stuff, and I was like, "Let's give it a shot." We tried it, great, and so I always kind of followed his footsteps, and he's gonna brew a beer. Well, damn it, I'm gonna brew a beer too. So I got
Yeah.
into it. You know, coming up, I want to say it was my first beer I drank. It was November of 2002, I believe. So
Oh, dang, so
Man, you remember
20 years.
specifics.
yeah,
20
well,
years.
and it's easier to remember. I do have a picture of me drinking my first home brew.
Oh, cool.
But the
That is
date
cool.
is cut off on the very end of it. You know, on the old school, the Sony cameras and
Oh,
stuff.
where it would
Oh,
like
yeah.
timestamp it.
yeah,
kinda?
yeah. So it's cut off, but it was also right at the time my son was born, and he was born in 2003. So I think it was a hair before that. Could be maybe a hair afterwards. That's kind of
Right.
debatable. I don't
Okay.
kind of,
Yeah.
you know, but those brain cells are gone.
So when you started home brewing, were you doing like extract or like
Partial mash. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you just doing that on the stove?
Well, so Laura, my wife, I did my first one, started it on a stove. I did not get to continue on the stove because she could not stand the
smell.
the smell.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
You
love the
I'm
smell.
like, yeah, you're kidding me. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
not the same woman these days, but I still also don't brew
Hey,
inside.
technically,
so.
it's the same woman. She just doesn't mind the smell.
Yeah. So from that point on, it was out in the garage, but definitely hard to brew all year round up there, especially if you're doing it in garage. You definitely don't have a problem chilling your beer. 'Cause then you
Right.
just stick it in a
I was
snowbank
gonna
when
say,
it's,
just
you
put
know,
it in the snow.
if it's 10, 20 below outside, it doesn't take long to cool it down. Downside is all the steam is going up against my garage door and stuff, and it's creating icicles and
Oh,
that
that's
kind
cool.
of thing. And yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as enjoyable to brew outside up there in the winter, but here it's all year round, man. It's awesome. The only issue you have here is cooling your beer down without a glycol system or something.
Right.
Using the groundwater, so I had to come up. You know, when we moved down here, I did my first batch down here, and I could not get that wort down. It was like, it wouldn't go below like 85 degrees. I'm like,
Yep.
man, you're kidding. I'm like, then it dawned on me, oh, Texas summers, the pipes aren't as deep, groundwater's hot, you know.
Yeah.
So then I came up with a cooler, basically a cooler, and took 40 feet of copper pipe and took a keg and rolled it up and made kind of a dual coil system with some quick connects on both ends, and dumped ice over those coils, hooked
Yeah.
my garden hose up to one side, and I got ice cold water coming out into my immersion chiller out the other end, and
Oh, nice.
I got
Yeah.
my beer down to temp in under 30 minutes. So
I
Nice.
just barely figured that out this year. How
Yeah,
to
that's always been
get
the struggle.
beer down to the right temperature, because
Mhm.
usually I was like, "It's as far as I can get it. I guess I'm gonna leave it."
yeah.
Mhm.
And then this year I bought an immersion pump, like a fountain, like what you would buy for like a fountain, and put that in a cooler of ice water.
Yeah.
Once the groundwater gets it down as low as it'll go,
We
finish it off with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's worked well for the last 2 or 3 brews.
Yep.
So
That's
I wish I would have
awesome.
learned that 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You get, it's just those things you got to think of, you know. so-
Right.
was
Yeah.
like-
Because then I'm pitching yeast and it's dying
yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's too hot.
Yep.
But I mean, it is what it is. So what made you want to transition from home brewing to owning a homebrew store?
So, I mean, I've always wanted to. It's one of those things where, like, you you work for somebody else for so long, you go do something, you try to get a career going, and you know, there's things that you dislike, or you say, you know what, I could do this much better than they can, you know. And we just had a lovely wife of mine. She kind of felt the same way, you know. She's super smart, can pretty much do anything. So it was just one of those things where the housing market was perfect, shooting way up in price. We've always wanted to kind of downsize as Tucker got older, and it just kind of came to be. She lost her job, and everything just kind of fell in place. It was one of those things where, like, you know, you do something that if you do something that you're passionate about and you love, then you're really not working. And if you can, you know, you get to meet people and you can help others out, and you can try to create popularity in brewing, you know, and make it a hobby, and it can be enjoyable for anybody, whether you're doing a beer, wine, you know, cider, kombucha, I mean, anything. So even sodas, you know. So we just kind of decided, it's like, hey, this is a perfect time to do that. Let's do it.
So when did y'all do it? Last year?
We opened our store in this last March. So we've only been open, what,
year?
I don't know, was it 5 months or so?
Yep.
Oh, okay, nice.
Yep. We planned it. We started planning it. We got our lease done in January. We kind of went and waited till the first of the year, you know, and just makes everything easier in tax rates and things like that or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, we kind of just started planning it, and so we're doing it.
Awesome.
No, it seems to have worked out well, and I like. It's funny when I go in there and I talk to Laura and see how she gets excited about stuff like the sodas, or like making kombucha, or she even, I think
food
y'all
kits and
got like
stuff.
food kits, for like sauerkraut or kimchi and stuff. And I was
Cheese,
like, all right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cheese kits too. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, that's so cool.
Oh, yeah.
That's stuff that I would have never even thought about doing at home. I only thought about beer and wine.
Yeah. I mean, and same here, you know. I mean, she's just one of those persons, like, we don't have to. I mean, there's a lot of people that would love to make, you know, cheese goes great with beer, right? So especially up north, you know. So let's do cheese too, you know. I mean, there are some of the homebrew shops up north too. They actually have a cheese section, but you know, I'm not so sure that they have soda sections, or
Right.
you know, cider sections or something, you know. So
Oh, and you do? You got soda sections?
Yeah, we have all that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just I guess you call it brewed. You just made a soda, didn't you?
So my son Tucker loves cream soda, root beer, and orange, you know. So I had my a close friend of mine here just in the last 2 weeks did our cream soda kit, and he brought us a couple bottles, and I was like, holy crap, this is really, really good. And I mean, it wasn't even it had a little carbonation to it, but it was a little far off from carbonation, but even then it was like, holy crap, this is really good. So so Sean cracked open a bottle for Tucker, and then Tucker was like, saw angels floating around, you know, and he was like, okay, let's make it, you know. So I got him set up. I took a keg and we made 4 gallons, and I got him to help me build a picnic tap so I could dedicate a keg and a picnic tap just for sodas, you know, to keep that away from the beer lines and things like that.
Yeah.
So he's got 4 gallons on tap sitting in the kegerator at home now.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah.
Do you ever sell any, or you thought about selling it in the shop?
No. So
Ooh, soda wouldn't be near as hard as selling beer, I would think.
yeah. So no, the arrangement that we have now with management, we don't sell, like, I guess we probably could do sodas, but like we're nothing alcoholic.
Yeah.
We will give samples of like kombucha, because I mean, or even soda.
Yeah.
We're happy to give out samples if we've got it on hand, and hand that out. You know, just have somebody try it and see if they like it, and they could go grab a kit then. You know, but we can do that, but not the alcoholic side of things.
You can't give out samples of alcohol either.
Right. Yeah.
Because that's actually a good sales tactic.
Right.
So and the management that we have out there they're really awesome. They're glad to help where they can, any way that they can. So being the first time a lease, and home brewing and things like that, they probably, they said they love to have us out there. We're kind of a fit in that area. So I think when lease comes around, they'll see that we're not just a bunch of drunks or not causing trouble or anything like that.
I get that.
We're just, we just want to help people with the hobby and stuff, and I think that we'll come to that discussion again. And I don't think it's going to be an issue. I could totally see a kegerator in the shop with, maybe the seasonal beer kit that I'll brew up and maybe even have a brew session at the store. They were going to let us do that, and things kind of fell through. But we could get them to allow us to do a brew session again.
Like
and,
to teach them like
a hands-on
workshop
class, and we've got a lot of people that express interest for classes. We're just rolling out the web shop now.
Stop what you were doing and go to kettletokegtexas.com now. The online store is live and they are ready to take your orders.
I'm kind of fine-tuning some small things there, but the web shop is live now, and I think once that's done here, I think we'll create a forum on the website as well as have one in the store that maybe reach out to those email addresses that we have and see if they've got interest in signing up for a class, so we can get an idea of what kind of space we need, accommodations, things like that. So that's totally in the works. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
It's so new right now that it's like, I'm sure you have tons of ideas, but you're like, we got to kind of become more established.
Absolutely.
And then you can start delivering on these ideas.
That's super important. I mean, the people that have came out of the woodwork, all the way even from South Dallas to near up by Oklahoma City and stuff, come in and they're just, oh my God, this is, super awesome. Totally glad you guys are here, and they're just excited. It's just crazy the amount of number that actually homebrew that are just in Grayson County and the surrounding areas. It's crazy.
The timing couldn't have worked out better for you when it comes to, I mean, as sad as it is seeing some of the other homebrew stores either shut down or go commercial only, it helps that you're the one that's available for people to go to. Not that you did that on purpose.
We were happy to pick up their slack.
Yeah, like their customers take over for them. But you also create your own recipe kits, don't you?
Absolutely. Yep. 5-gallon beer recipe kits. We can do clone kits. I can use software to create things and get it in the right style. Custom recipes. I had a customer here a couple of weeks ago came in, wanted to do a cereal beer, like a Fruity Pebbles or a Lucky Charms or something like that. And I'm like, okay, well, I know our buddy Jeremy, he's really good at that kind of thing. But I'm like, I personally haven't ever done one of those, but I mean, it really can't be that hard. So kind of did a little research here and there, and I next thing you know, I've got a recipe for Fruity Pebble beer if he wants it, and so I'm just waiting for him to come back. And
nice.
Was it like a milkshake IPA or a cream ale?
More of a cream ale. Do a cream ale, and you're actually using like 4 pounds of cereal, in a 5-gallon batch.
Yeah, I've seen that where they put cereal into the mash.
In the mash, and both even in almost like instead of doing a dry hopping, you dry cereal hop,
I just putting it into the mash, all the sugars that are going to come off the cereal makes me think that thing's going to be so hella sweet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I guess that's
But
the
you can also
point.
read the box of cereal, you know, if you want to calculate that and you're worried about your ABV levels and stuff,
Oh,
you
right.
can look how much sugar is in that cereal
Yeah.
That's
and
true.
bring that part of your
Use some of that
recipe.
magic
And you know
spoon,
what
you know?
you know exactly what your gravity is going to do. So
I bet like Kellogg's Frosted Flakes would be a good one because it's kind of a subtle but still grainy type cereal.
Yeah.
If we could recreate that.
a lot of sugar.
I mean,
too.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, it is. It's, I mean,
But-
but I think not as sweet as the cereal, but it still keeps that. Like, what is
It would be
Frosted
super.
Flakes?
I
What are
could
the
see
flakes, like
something
wheat?
being. Yeah, what
Are they
those?
cornflakes?
Corn? Yeah, it's
Corn
cornflakes.
flakes?
It'd be like
Okay.
a cornflake flavored.
But they're like toasted, right? So
Yeah.
which is, I mean, anybody can toast cornflakes, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think the idea is just a lot of times just make it taste like that.
I think
And
so.
sometimes the way around is
The cornflakes itself it's more of an adjunct, so you wouldn't be using that as like a main ingredient.
Oh,
So
okay.
You could certainly use it for some of the flavor,
Mm-hmm.
but it would definitely need to be mixed with some other fermentables for sure.
Yeah, it's just sugar-coated cornflakes.
Sugar
That's what I thought.
coated. So it's just gonna be sugar. Just tastes like
Yeah,
sugar.
it's just pure sugar. It's all
Yeah,
it's
and
gonna
the flakes itself. I mean, again, like the taste. It's you'll get some of the taste out of that, but I mean, the body of your beer and stuff like what you know with the
Right.
corn and stuff it would definitely help.
Mm.
But I would say you mix that, you could even do a cream ale or a wheat ale or something like
Right.
that, or you know, a wheat beer.
Yeah.
One of the things that I will say that I have enjoyed most about you and your family and going and shopping at your store is how accommodating you guys are. If you don't
Absolutely,
have
yeah.
something in stock, you're going to do whatever you can to satisfy the customer and help us out. And I can't thank you enough for helping out with that kind of stuff. So yeah.
You're absolutely welcome. So one of the biggest thing, I have kind of a pet peeve for that kind of thing. So I've been, you know, through my brewing years, I've been in a lot of homebrew shops and stuff. And one thing that personally kind of would get my attention was, you know, people, they have a recipe, they want to kind of stick to that recipe. They don't want a bunch of swap outs and substitutions, you know.
Yeah.
So one of my biggest pet peeves was going into a homebrew shop and having most of my grain bill switched over to something that they didn't have, you know. So that's one of the biggest things that we like to do is we try to keep that style of what you're doing with exactly the way you want it, you know. So we've got grains from all over the world, you know. So we try to, you know, if you want to make an Oktoberfest, you know, we've got the yeast as well as the grains from Germany, you know, and Belgium or wherever
Right.
that whole region. So we try to stick to that.
Yeah.
And again, just like you said, we place orders typically every week with our suppliers, and if there's something that we don't have that you want, I can 99% can get it, then we're getting it.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, that's the thing. Speaking of Oktoberfest, go ahead and crack another one
All
for us,
right.
Larry.
So this time let's go with the Peticolas.
Peticolas.
What was the last beer we had from Peticolas?
The bicycle pump.
Bicycle pump.
Just gotta
That
get
bicycle pump German. It was a German lager, German
You
Pilsner,
got
maybe.
you want a new one?
Sure.
Like one
Yes,
of your plain
absolutely.
ones? All right.
Yep.
And,
I'll take this one too.
Okay. Good.
But no frill. It's not even just grains though, because I've needed like kegging or like kegerator equipment, and you've ordered me like random little parts.
Yeah. So the biggest
Like, I
thing
mean,
is
random stuff that like.
Yeah, so I mean, you've got to have that stuff on hand. And you know, what's most inconvenient with brewing is when you've got a leak that you can't fix.
Yeah.
You know, you can't lose a whole CO2 tank. So the gasket seals, you know, repair kits and parts, and you know, you do something crazy and break something, and it's going to
Right.
happen. We got a pretty huge selection of hardware.
No, you've been phenomenal. I've purchased all kinds of hardware, and like I said, the stuff you didn't have, you were like, cool. I'm sure somebody else will want it. Let's order a few of them.
Absolutely.
So-
Do you do services too? Like if somebody said bring something in, or do a house call, like, hey, I can't figure this out. Can you? Come
I
look
can.
at it?
Yeah, I can. One thing that we have done, beekeepers. There's several beekeepers. We built custom kettles for a beekeeper. We've had one.
Wait, you've built what? I'm sorry.
A kettle,
Like for
like
for like honey.
a brewing kettle for honey. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
so they can like
like
pasteurize the honey or whatnot.
Yeah, so whether it's filtering or I'm not sure what that whole honey process is, but I worked with the customer.
Man.
Oh, break here. Nice and easy.
There
Okay.
we go. Dude, this
I
one looks
worked with
completely
a-
different, does it not?
It's darker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's much darker. So so kettles, whatever that honey process is, she needed to do some filtering, so basically a kettle with a false bottom. The false bottom is right, at 700 microns typically. So 700 micron holes is good enough to filter out, the B parts and things like that, and the wax or whatever. But the other issue that she had is, a lot of kettles will come with a 1/2 inch NPT port that you can screw a ball valve on or,
You
or
screw
whatever.
like
right?
the
So
adapter on the bottom,
the
yeah.
second kettle she needed to maintain temperature in that kettle of about 95 degrees. I think that's kind of the helps the honey kind of liquefy a little bit so
Right.
it comes through. But also the port, a 1/2 inch port, wasn't big enough, so we put a 3/4 inch port on the bottom. We got rid of the 1/2 inch port and put a 3/4 inch port on there for her,
Nice.
and she says it's working immaculate.
Oh,
So,
awesome.
Yep. But yeah, everybody that comes into the store leaves with goodies, whether it's a koozie, bottle openers, whatever they want. It's certainly my business card. My business card's even got my personal number on it. I get calls even on a Sunday, the only day that we're off. I get a call and it's a customer that was just in, and they've got a question. Maybe they're second guessing themselves on the brewing process because they're just beginning to do it, or they're not sure what to do next, or whatever, or they're flustered, whatever. They give me a call, text, email, whatever their preferred method is, and I'm more than glad to talk to anybody at any time and give them the help that they
That's
need.
awesome.
That is invaluable, especially if you're in the middle of brewing and you forgot about something and you have a
Yeah.
question right then and there.
Yeah,
To
yep.
get somebody to answer you, that is, like I said, invaluable.
Yep, I had a customer down in McKinney. He's an extremely busy guy with starting up his business and stuff, and he needed some equipment, and I needed to run to Dallas like that morning, but so I thought ahead a little bit. I got a hold of him the night before, and I'm like, hey, I'll meet you on my way back. I'll bring this stuff to you.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
dang.
and so we
Nice.
met him. I met up with him for lunch, and we did our business right out in the parking lot there, so we wouldn't have to come to Sherman. So
Oh, man.
That's the fun thing about it is a community in general, like the business as a whole. It's always going to be small town stuff, and to what Joe alluded to earlier, there's not like a lot of places that do what you do. So you have the opportunity to not only win people over, but make it very personal, where they
Yes.
you're building relationships with people, so that that's just really cool.
the
Yeah, it's
people, the home
delicious.
brewers, right? So
Yeah.
I'm going to say this: like, you don't come across a home brewer that is going to be, I guess, how do I say this? 99% of us brewers, or a brewer that you will come across, isn't an asshole. They are down to earth, like
They're always
super
cool,
friendly.
nice,
They're
friendly.
extended family,
Yeah.
It's a brewing family.
Yeah.
The whole community, the whole brewing community is a family.
Nice.
Yeah,
So
I
we
like
do
the
what
way
we
that you
can
say
to help
that,
each
yeah.
other out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're serving the family.
Yeah.
So I cracked open the second one if you guys want to pour some to give it like a compare and contrast.
Oh, because this one is way darker.
It is, and
it's darker, but it's just as smooth.
I feel like it has a way different flavor profile though. Like this has got it's sweeter and a little bit more malty.
I think it's sharper. I don't know if
Hand me that Allstat, Robert. The one that's
one in the
yeah,
front.
that one in the front.
There you go.
I'm gonna pour them next to
So
each
we got the
other.
Allstat, we got the Peticolas. Same time next year. See ya next year, Oktoberfest.
There's a little bit more in there if you want to try them side by side. This is the thing that I like to do. Because if you don't try them side by side, it's like, can you really tell the differences, or is it like in your head that you're
You
thinking
definitely
something
see
different?
it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Altsat is definitely more malty.
Mm-hmm.
No, try it again. Try it next to this. This is way sweeter in my opinion, is it
I have
not?
Altsat in this one. I think, yeah,
Yeah, the Petticoats is like more roasty.
You know what I should have done is I
that?
should have brought pretzels.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that would have sounded real great on a mic.
Not crunchy pretzels, the soft ones.
Like, you know,
Oh.
it's Oktoberfest. We should have
Yeah.
like the pretzel
Right.
necklaces going on and
Dude,
stuff.
we
Oh,
Freaking-
dude,
did
that.
it years ago.
I should have done that.
I think like the first, like probably 2 months into the podcast.
Yeah.
we did the Oktoberfest episode, and you had like all sorts of food.
we did food and
It
games.
was all
and,
sorts of food, man. It was a
little bit too much.
Yeah.
But getting into the Oktoberfest spirit, I mean, the biggest thing at Oktoberfest is the beer, right? You
Yeah.
go to a beer tent or a beer garden and you drink beer. You play beer games. So you got to kind of prepare for it, right?
Absolutely.
Okay,
How
what are
do
you getting
you
at?
train?
Okay.
How do you train? I'm going to give you 2 examples here.
All right.
It's like for the drinking or the games.
Both.
All right. Okay, I see where
Well-
this is going. Oh yeah,
I like how he tries to crack it open.
yeah. He's got a tall boy.
I see a problem with him already.
What's that?
He's assuming he's going to get a can.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
exactly. A tall boy can.
But the way he cracks it before he
Yeah.
goes to drink it.
It's like,
Imagine seeing this guy at the gym, though. That's the thing. Seeing this guy at an actual gym
Right.
doing this.
Just casual.
that's
Um,
awesome.
Second one here.
Only working the wrist. That's not going to get you very prepared.
Right.
Hey, we're gonna start right now with a little warm-up, homie. So we're just cruising through the hood,
Oh, I've seen this dude.
Alright? Get a nice little pace going, homie. You know, loosen up, eh?
Like how they're riding beach
Yeah.
cruisers.
Cholo Fit. This is Cholo Fit, dude. He's got his own workout.
Yeah. Oh, so this is real?
No, but he makes a series of Cholo Fit videos.
Yeah.
I haven't seen this one.
So now we're ready for the next workout, homie. Alright? And this is when you have to barbecue, homie, pero they ran out of beer, eh? So we don't want supposed to start fighting each other, homie, because the kids are there and everything. So somebody needs to get pizza, so you take your bike, everybody chips in. So my homie Ruben, you're gonna give each of you an 18-pack, homie. Boom, you got it like that, okay? Right here, homie, you're working the obliques, eh? Right here,
Tecate.
Oh,
Tecate.
jeez.
Okay, we bring it to the top. Watch, onto the shoulder like that.
Boom. That's how you got to do it.
Alright, so we're gonna coast
One
in,
guy-
we got a block and a half left.
Natural light and
Okay,
Tecate.
Rico is talking papas again. We're ready to fight him, but it's gonna be all good, homie, because we're almost there. Alright, here we go. Coast it out. Okay, we're gonna start right now with a little warm-up, homie. We're just cruising.
We're just cruising through the street. This is one of those things I was telling you about, though, Larry, that you could put on the back of your bike, so you could do if you want to do stationary at home. I know
Yeah.
you like to
Oh,
do,
yeah,
do
yeah.
that dirt surfing.
I knew that's what you were talking about. Was that thing?
That
But
bike is
good
sweet.
good ways to warm up because you got to have cardio, right? You've done beer games, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So,
Aren't you a certified champion? I don't know if you call it certified, but
yeah.
So what
well,
was your training?
I've got a. I do have a medal. Thanks to our homebrew club, the Mash Runners. Myself, Eric Wooten, and David Lusk was. We are officially 2021 Texoma Beer Olympic champions.
Nice.
Sweet.
So y'all had an Olympic team, huh? 3-man team?
Yeah, so every year our club puts on a beer camp, and this was my first. This last year was my first go at it. The best time ever. I mean, it's just super, super awesome to be out there, and but you definitely have to train.
okay.
If you're gonna win, you have to train. So I had it at the point where I would come home and set out my either a big pint glass or I even did this with the Das Boot a couple of times, just in preparation.
Yeah.
But I would have Laura time me with chugging the pints, and I tried to
Improve time.
improve time.
I've never been
and,
good at chugging.
I can hold my own, but I there's definitely always room for improvement. So, yeah. So I practiced last year, and I cheered on my teammates. Hey, we got to practice. You got to practice. You got to practice. You know, and we get out there and super awesome time. So we divide. It's teams of 3, and each team represents a country.
Okay.
So we were awesome enough to get Team USA.
Yeah,
So
America.
It only makes sense that
So
we
you
won,
guys
man.
were like coming
Yeah.
in like Eagles.
Yeah.
And like American flags. Being
had-
all American.
we had the USA drinking team shirts.
Nice.
And like the the Olympic rings were were like the caps of like the colors.
Oh, that's
the,
cool.
The Olympic colors.
Oh,
and
it
stuff.
was like the plastic rings, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the plastic
yeah.
rings
so,
for cans.
yeah, but instead of like the
Yeah.
Olympic rings, it was the beer, the caps.
Oh,
you know?
oh, the tab.
The tabs. There we go. Sorry.
Oh, the
sorry.
beer tabs. Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So the tabs were like the different Olympic colors,
Yeah.
representing that. But anyways, we get out there and we had to fend off the Scottish, So we lost one event, the whole thing, and got a second chance and redeemed ourselves and came back and then hammered out the sign hold, which was one of the toughest part of the competition, holding the sign hold it straight out,
Oh yeah.
I've seen it, and I don't understand how they do it for so long.
Man, David Lusk was a beast holding that thing.
With that shoulder rod?
He did so he carried us for most part, and then but I mean all 3, Eric and I, we both did really good. So
Yeah.
but then it came down to the chug, and then it was on.
And then you guys I imagine it's some kind
I
of
had-
end of Rocky movie. It's like comes down to the chug,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
look over at your wife, and she like gives you the nod, like this is everything you trained for.
Yeah, dude, that's what's going in your own head. You don't have time to think. You just got to do it, right? So
Yeah.
so they
is
chug
for
their solo
America.
cups, right? They chug their solo cups, and it's time for me to grab the boot. And I grab the boot and just go for it.
So is it like in Beer Fest where you have to turn it so you don't get the bubble? Is that a real thing?
It can be. It's a little overdone in the movie.
Okay.
However,
Yeah, that makes
if you
sense.
do try to drink that with the toe up, and you tried, there's totally an air pocket that'll make it up there,
Oh, okay.
and it will splash back. So I mean, the smartest thing to do is start it on its side, so the air is evenly all the way through, and then as it gets toward that bottom, you need to get that beer out of there. You just slightly tilt it so that beer runs into the rest of the body, and down
I
it
gotcha.
goes.
It's a matter of drinking it
Nice.
fast, but not too fast, because gravity will come into play and just pour all that stuff all over you.
You can't spill it. You got to drink it.
Yeah.
You got to get it all down. Yep.
And doesn't somebody doesn't one of the members brew like a 2%?
Yeah,
or
so
something?
we don't want people dying out there or getting deathly sick, or
Yeah.
alcohol poisoning or anything like that. So, in fact, I think he brewed it last year, if I'm not mistaken. But it was a super easy. I don't even remember what style it was. I mean, it was just super light. It was only like 2.5%.
Yeah, like a 2%.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Something
Yeah.
easy that you can play games with.
yeah,
Still
if it
get
warms
some beer
up,
flavor.
it's not. You let it warm up a little bit in a glass. I mean, it's just super easy to get
Yeah.
down. But yeah, we're also not only we're having fun and being silly and slamming beers and things like that, but we're also on the safe side of things, with
Right,
caution.
right.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want anybody to go in the hospital
So,
or anything. No liabilities.
As far as games go, did you guys play anything like super crazy? I know you did the Stein holding.
Turbo
Assuming
Pong.
you did like a flip cup type thing.
No
probably?
flip cup
Okay.
things. I mean, we're always
What is
thinking. Actually,
Turbo
it's a
Pong?
great. So Turbo Pong, just like Beer Fest, where it's I guess it's a modified version of that. You've got your 3 guys, your 3 members on each side of the table, right? And each person has their Pong, their cup set up, but like in regular Pong, you kind of take turns.
Yeah.
This is back and forth. As soon as you grab a ball, throw it, let go, and there's no turn taking. It's like get them eliminated as quick as you can.
Okay.
So that's what Turbo.
Oh,
Pong
I
is.
see what you're saying.
Okay.
Okay.
The Hammer Schlagen, that was not in Beer Fest, but
What is
that's they got a huge oak stump, and they take a
I've seen
big
this.
ass nail and a little tiny hammer, and you got to drill that thing in.
And
you
as
know,
little
not
amount of hits as it takes, right?
drive it in. Yep, you got to beat the other team. So
Oh, you're just driving a nail through wood?
yeah,
Yeah.
but the hammer is literally like
What's it called?
Hammerschlagen. How do you spell it? I don't know. But it's basically a really small hammer, and you're driving in a really big nail. Not like a railroad spike or anything like that, but there's a good picture. Even that hammer, I mean, ours was even smaller than that.
Yeah, what I've seen this where like this front tip is they don't use the fat round end, they use the skinny,
The
like
little
almost
skinny
like a
end.
Yeah.
almost like an axe end, and they nail these giant nails in.
And ours wasn't.
And the
even
nails
that
are like
big yet.
super long.
I kind of feel like this is my
They were
game
like 16
out of all
penny
of them.
nails, I think. They might have been a little larger, but it's one of those little, like
Yeah.
almost like a jeweler, the jeweler's hammers.
Oh, yeah.
really?
It's like one of those, equivalent to one of those.
dang.
trying to
Yeah, because
knock
I've seen it
in.
like this though.
Yeah.
I've never seen that style. Yeah, this seems.
This is a legit game too. Look at the chick with the Oktoberfest
I
gear.
mean, you just
yeah.
imagine she's wearing the gear. It's got to be official, right?
It's official. Yeah. Hammerschlagen.
So can I suggest another game that we need to get implemented into it?
Yeah, so one of the awesome things with the club is we're always looking at new games to
Okay.
incorporate.
Okay.
in
Well,
the
let's get
competition,
your
so-
guys' opinion on this game. I don't know what you would call it, but I got a game here, and I've seen this done before. Here's one guy doing it.
All right. This
Before
is
you even hit
interesting.
play.
What's he do?
The idea is to drink the
man,
entire
this-
beer.
Oh, this is good. I've seen these
I-
like on You guys ever watch Survivor
I can
or
see-
Big Brother?
oh.
Or
I
something?
think I've seen on something like that.
Because
Yeah.
they on Big Brother they have one where you have to bring like you're like taking a ball up a wall
Oh,
and
okay.
it's got holes and you have to pull the levers.
Yeah.
So it's almost like doing that to your face.
Yeah, you're pouring
Your
a beer
face
in your
is the
face.
wall.
Yeah. Trying to spill it all over you. It's who can
Gosh.
drink it without spilling the beer.
Man,
And then once you
that's
panic,
pretty
it's
tough.
over.
That's pretty tough.
I mean, you'd have to have somebody create this or build
She
this
had the right
contraption.
idea though
And you're
because she
cer-
lifted it and then put it forward to tip it
Yeah.
back. Like
Yeah.
Rather than just
He's
trying
like-
to.
You're
Yeah,
certainly not going to use pint glasses for this.
Well, no. Yeah, you'll use like a plastic cup
You
or
gotta,
something.
oh yeah, so there's a chipped tooth, right?
Ouch.
So, yeah.
this is a glass though that they're using.
Oh, yeah, I know. I think I just grabbed
The
it with his
problem
hand.
with bringing this in, Joe, is like if you're gonna make a suggestion, everybody's gonna be like, "Okay, cool. Who's making this?
Right,
Who's
right,
building this contraption?"
right.
Amazon.
Oh yeah, I
if you
wonder who
have
would
it. I
buy
bet
one.
everybody would. I bet they'd be down for it. Like, yeah, why not?
You could try. There was a video. I think I posted it to our group. The whole sliding.
I think I've
the
seen it. Let me see if I can
big,
find it.
giant mug down the table.
Oh, and you have to slide it to the edge without
I think-
going over. Or
I
something
think
like
that
that
you grab it and they got to chug it. And I mean, we all vote. Well, we all didn't vote against it, but it was voted no at that time. But
Let me see if I
we're
can
always
find it.
looking for different games and stuff.
Flipadelphia. You ever watch the episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia where they did the Flipadelphia?
It sounds familiar. I don't know that I've seen it. What is it?
What is Philadelphia? It's a citywide flip cup tournament.
It's kind of like a Flip Cup, but it's the Flip Cup Championship. It's in Philadelphia,
Oh, okay.
and they call it Flipadelphia. So just pretty much like a whole episode based on what we're
Here it
talking
is.
about.
Here it is right
training
here.
for. This is like the shuffleboard of beer drinking.
Exactly.
You slide it and then they catch it.
Nice.
And
they
They
gotta
gotta
catch
catch
it
it
off of
off. That's awesome.
And then and you do it with mugs, so you catch the handle.
Dude, way to bust a knuckle right there.
Well, because mugs are heavy.
Yeah.
But you also use like the like plastic ones, right? So
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
could
you
do.
want a little bit of weight to it, so it'll slide easy.
that's the beer that's gonna be the weight.
Yeah. If you have
Maybe.
those plastic ones that are that size, it'll slide good.
Or you take a stainless weight and
like glue it to the bottom.
glue
or
it to the
something.
bottom before.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
That might help.
There's a way to figure it out.
So do you guys just do it with just your club, or do you do club versus other clubs?
there are other clubs that throw out competitions.
Yeah, like a
Um,
scrimmage.
Yeah, our club is always down to do something like that. Right now, we just have a inter club competition going on
Yeah.
that we actually have to submit.
Oh yeah, we're
At the-
we're
at
we're
the-
doing
at
a
the meeting
beer
Wednesday.
competition.
Yeah,
So like we've done like I've heard of other breweries doing like smaller like local beer competitions.
Yeah.
We do one with the club. I would assume that other clubs do a beer game style competition. I mean, it'd be a cool idea. our winner goes against their winner.
Yeah.
We become the winner of
sure.
North Texas.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not a bad idea, actually.
No, it's not. It's actually a great idea. You should bring that up.
We have
at
to
the
talk
meeting.
to the people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know at least one guy with I think it's North Texas Homebrew Association.
Yep.
I know at least one guy that's with them. So,
Imagine if the whole event is sponsored by Kettle to Keg.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The whole event, Kettle to Keg presents
I mean, I
Battle of
think-
North Texas.
I think last year didn't Tups sponsor beer?
Yeah, we had
Beer-
beer.
beer
We had beer
camp?
from Tups out there. Yeah.
Oh,
Tups
nice.
sponsored it and gave him a lot of beer.
Thank you,
I
Tups.
wasn't a part of the club at that time. I wish I would have been. But
Yeah,
I got
it was
another
awesome.
game here. And tell me how to pronounce this. The name of this. How do you say this?
Think
Kostenloff?
Hasselhoff, but K instead of
So-
H.
Kastenloff?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Because
Kostenloff.
Germans
Laura would
are
laugh.
awesome.
Laura would laugh at me.
So this one,
Laura would laugh at me.
Kastenloff.
Kastenloff.
Yeah, it's definitely a laugh.
I didn't find a video for it, but this is, they also call it crate running. So basically what it is a team of two. You carry a crate of beer,
Okay.
one person on each side, and you run a race. And you have to finish the race and finish the beer.
All of the
Whoever
beers
does
inside
both
the
of them,
crate?
yep.
And if you break a beer, you have to go back for another one?
I would assume.
Yeah.
I didn't read
How would
anything
you break
about
the
that.
beers inside the crate if they're all packed in? Like,
Yeah,
is it-
I mean, I don't
if
know
you're
if they
running
drop it or
around,
something.
Yeah, I imagine if the two of you are running a race, you might trip and break some.
But
of
wait a
them.
minute. Did you say you have to drink the beers and all of the beers in the crate to finish?
So in order to finish, it's who finishes the beers and the race first. So this is the question I want to ask you guys. What would be your strategy? Would you drink first and then run?
Oh man.
Drink as you run, or run, stop short of the finish line, drink your beers, and then finish the race?
I would say yours. Well,
Or like
my
pause in
safest
between,
bet-
be like the...
So there's going to be pros and cons to each, right? So let's say you slam those beers up front. Can
Yeah.
you run?
Like, are you drunk
know?
and are you drunk and you can't run now?
I mean, you can before they kick in. You
but
might
then
get a
again,
good
you're not.
sprint.
I mean, you just got to be able to finish, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you slam those beers, you might be falling down, but there's nothing to break.
Yeah, because it says here they do anywhere between 3 and 8 miles.
3 and 8
3 and 8 miles? Nope, I'm out.
Dude, that changes the game. What is
No,
your
man.
strategy? 3 to 8
Yeah.
miles?
I could see maybe 50 yards, but
God.
how
No.
many beers are in this crate?
Yeah, how many beers?
I mean, I think it says crate or like case, and I'm like, a case in America is 24 beers, 18 beers maybe, and I'm like, that seems like a crap ton of beer. But let's just say it's a 12-pack.
A 12-pack.
Yeah.
Of what?
I don't know. They also said in Germany the beers are lighter,
Yeah.
so you do like a light lager or something.
Let's say if it's let's just.
I mean, let's say we do our a 2%er.
Look, there they are
Okay.
right there
Yeah.
holding a case. Those look like a 18 or 12 pack of bottles.
Yeah. And do
and
you
they're
drink them
drinking
as you
while
go?
they're going.
Right.
See, they're like having just
But
a
they're
steady
walking.
walk.
They're not running. They're just kind of taking their time. And going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're chilling out.
I think the strategy would
But
be
that's distance. That's the deal with this is they're walking
Yeah.
because it's distance.
It is distance, and the strategy would be to do
Your
it
arm
along the way.
gets heavy holding
Well, then
that
you
all those beers.
swap sides,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? And
I would say if you do it, if it's a mile race, it wouldn't be as bad as long enough that it's would be more difficult, and you'd have to figure out some sort of a strategy, but not too long that it would be miserable.
I got a strategy.
Go ahead.
So you have to come up with a plan ahead of time of
my
when
bad.
are you going to switch arms. I think the arm switching is key, but I think the trick is you and your partner both have to have your beer drank,
Yeah.
whatever you would say, before you switch arms. So if you make it, you're like, okay, switch, and you have any beer left, you have to chug it, and then
Okay.
you grab another beer, you switch places, and then you're just like, you set it up ahead of time, so you have like stopping points, and your
Yeah.
plan is to have all the beer done before you get towards the end. And you want to have it done about 3/4 of the way, and then sprint that last quarter.
wow,
Okay.
dude, you know how full you're gonna be.
You just got to go for
Question
I
broke.
mean,
is-
if you do a light,
Can
like
you-
a
can you
2%er.
puke? Can you puke? If
I
you
don't
puke, you're probably
know.
out. Right?
Oh yeah.
So if you're gonna sprint after drinking, I don't know, 6-8 beers
yeah,
or more,
if you're
it's a
feeling
24
yeah,
pack,
if you're
Maybe you
feeling
can
like
throw
you're
up
gonna puke.
afterwards, as
dude.
long as you cross the finish line.
I think even at I would think even at let's say 2%, you drink 12 beers.
I mean, I would say it's a 12-pack, so each person drinks 6.
6, okay.
I mean,
That's
even
pretty
then,
easy.
you got a full belly.
But once they're at 4%, 4.5%, and climbing, man, you're gonna be in trouble.
Oh, especially because you're drinking them fast.
A 6-pack though, I mean, yeah, that's doable.
Yeah, and if you do a mile, I mean, even if you walk a mile, you're gonna walk a mile in, I say, 15 minutes at the slowest.
Yeah.
And that is
A
Drinking
15-minute mile.
that's really slow, but that's like walking it. Let's say you walk the whole
Yeah.
thing, drinking 6 beers in 15 minutes.
In 15
Just-
minutes?
Yeah, just think about that.
I mean,
6 beers in 15 minutes.
6
But why
beers
would you
in
do
15
6 in
minutes.
15 minutes?
Because
Because
if
it's
it
a 1-mile
if the
race.
mile's a
Oh, if
1 mile
it's
race.
just a 1 mile race, it doesn't look like it is though.
No, this is not. I was trying to see how could we condense it and make it to where
I
we
think
do
that
it for Beer
that honestly
Fest.
makes it a little bit more challenging to only do it in a mile because there is 6 beers in a mile. That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a
That's
lot.
just drinking, chugging, and walking.
I'm trying to think like golfing wise. So
Oh, yeah.
me and my buddies go golfing. We drink a beer per hole.
you do 18
No way.
beers?
Yeah, and we have a Bloody Mary at the turn.
What?
So you're doing this competition. You're just you have a golf
we're
cart
not,
carrying the
yeah,
beers
we're
for
carting
you.
it, right. So I'm just
Holy
wondering, like, I'm just trying
cow.
to think how many, like the 6 beers, right? So like
Yeah.
how far how that's 6, but that's way more than 15 minutes.
Well, yeah, no, you would be doing it all day. Dang.
Dang. A
Dude,
beer
I
a
love
hole.
playing
That's
disc
blowing my
golf.
mind.
I couldn't imagine doing a beer a hole playing disc golf.
Right.
I would be hammered by the time I'm done playing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Holy
Just
jeez.
be tired.
Yeah.
I did that at a tournament a couple of years ago, and I completely left my golf bag at the.
You got home and you're like, wait a minute. I
was
think I was
like-
doing something earlier.
I was like, well, no, like we rode with somebody to go somewhere else, and I was like, next day, after the fog went away, I
Yeah.
was like, where the hell are my clubs? I'm like, are they in my car? Are they in Laura's car? Are they in a friend's car? Or like,
Did you get them
Right.
back?
I called the club, and yeah, the club was like, we found them on the cart. We've got them here. Just describe what they are, name some clubs inside, and we'll give your bag back.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Thank God nobody stole them.
You're like, where's
Yeah.
my driver? yeah.
Seriously.
Honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
You guys want to open up that St.
Let's
Arnold?
do the last
Yep.
one,
You
bro.
go.
Thank you, sir.
We'll see. So far, out of these 2 that we've tried so far, which one did you like?
Allstat.
Yeah, I liked the Allstat
Yeah,
better.
I did too.
It seemed more
I
clean.
need a third one. Is this a clean one?
It is not.
This one's clean.
That one's a clean one.
It's clean.
Yeah, I left a little bit of it so that I could try them side by side. This
And
one,
honestly, the cards are kind of stacked against St. Arnold's now because it's been sitting
it's been
out.
sitting out a little while.
Well, for Oktoberfest though,
Man,
it's kind
some
of good
those,
to
it
get a little.
depends on
room
those. I
temp.
mean, yeah, for that style of beer, I guess it
It's
probably
not-
needs to be a little colder. But
Yeah, it's not the worst.
some of those flavors after a beer warms up can really come out, though.
Yeah. Exactly.
It's not the worst beer to have.
It's not.
semi-warm,
It's not.
right?
And it's at least cooled.
Yeah, I should have brought a cooler in here. That would have been a better idea. But either
Well,
way,
It'll work.
we're figuring it out.
It'll work. And the
Um,
real test is going to be.
Ooh, it's like in between both of these colors here.
Yeah, I know, right? If we had all 3 of them together.
Well, here you go. Here's the Allstat right here,
I think it's a little darker.
and then here's this one.
But you're right. I think it is.
It's like in
kind of-
between both of these. It looks like.
Well, here. This is
Get
your
these
beer,
out of the
so
way.
you put it between them.
Like if I look at
That's
this,
definitely between them. If you line them up.
So like it's definitely darker than the
here you go.
Allstat,
I'll set yours right there.
Thank you, sir.
but not as dark as the Pedicolis. So yeah, it's like right in between, which is kind of cool that it happened that way. I didn't do that on purpose.
And I'll open this.
I've drank these. I just haven't drank them side by side. And like I said, the St. Arnold, I had it last year, and it's always been a good one. Like St. Arnold, Shiner's always good.
I'd have to check Untappd, but I'm pretty sure I've had this.
Yeah, St. Arnold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think. It's very
Yeah.
popular. I think they had it. I want to say they had that on tap, or not on tap, or at Oktoberfest in McKinney. Like them and
I'm
Franconia's,
sure.
I say.
It's also going to be your grocery store beer. You're out of town, you're needing a beer, you go to the grocery store, and they're going to always have a good variety of St. Arnold's.
Yeah. Their
I like it.
lawnmower's really good. I think it's a
Yeah.
Kolsch. Their summer Pilsner's really good.
Their pale ale is like, it's just international.
Oh,
I don't
is
know
it?
if it's
Yeah.
really international, but I mean, I guess it's
That's
just
what
at
they
least
call it.
nationally known. You go anywhere, you see the pale ale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, where's this brewery out of?
I want to say they're out of Austin.
Houston.
Houston.
It's in Texas.
Yeah. I knew that they were from Texas. Houston.
It's drier.
It definitely is drier, and I kind of like that
Yeah.
because the Pedicolis, in my opinion, is too sweet.
Yeah.
So drier, especially with the carbonation.
I like the carbonation. The carbonation gives it a little bit of bite.
Right.
I do like it. It's more carbed than the Pedicolis as well.
It
Pedicolis
has-
does a good job. This isn't a bad beer. It's just
Oh
it's
no,
not-
all three of them
it's
are
not
good.
as good.
All three of them are solid.
Yeah.
To me, the St. Arnold's tastes like more of a traditional Marzen. Like it just has that
Yeah.
Oktoberfest taste to it. Just what I would expect.
Yeah, it's really it's. Pardon me if I could talk. It's deciding between the Allstat and the St. Arnold.
I
I'm
think
going-
this is
well,
where I'm going.
Yeah, me
This
too.
is the champ, man.
I agree. I think so. I like the dryness and the kind of the crispiness, but I think I'm more of the smooth.
Yeah, it is a little
Mhm.
smoother for sure. For sure. Yeah, I would go with that. Like they're all three damn good. So check these guys out
Yeah, for sure.
and try other Allstat beers. Allstat does a good job. Like I said, two style.
I think the Pedicolis has definitely heavier on some of the crystal malt.
Yeah, it's more roasty
For
and it's
sure.
sweet. Yeah,
Yeah.
it didn't. Which is like I said, that's just a comparison to these others. You drink it by itself without comparing it, it's going to be a good beer and you're going to enjoy it.
Right.
For
Yep.
sure. For sure.
All three Texas beers, huh?
Yeah. It's Dallas, Fredericksburg, or how did you say it?
Fredericksburg.
Fredericksburg.
And then Houston.
Houston.
Or if your navigation system Houston.
Oh, I know. Sam Houston. It always says
Does it really
that
say
on
that?
the highway. Yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah. It always says when I map it in Dallas, it's like Lyndon Beans Johnson. Lyndon Beans Johnson Highway.
So Robert, man, thanks for coming out, brother. I really
Thanks for
appreciate
having
it.
me, man. This is awesome.
If you guys, I don't even care if you're a home brewer or not. If you're interested, go check it out.
Yes.
Because you do a phenomenal job. And like I said, he'll teach you how to do it. And if he doesn't have what you want, he'll order it for you, which is what's even better. Like I said, the customer service has been the best. Definitely helps that it's convenient, but even if you were further away, the customer service would keep me coming back.
That's what we strive on.
So
man.
I definitely appreciate it. And shout out to these breweries.
Absolutely, you can't go wrong.
Pedicolis,
Pedicolis, St. Arnold. How do you say
Allstat.
that one?
Allstat.
Allstat.
Yeah. Allstat. So, yeah, all Texas. So, shout out to Texas, I guess. But they all did a phenomenal job. And I just say go out and get an Oktoberfest and enjoy the holiday. And Prost.
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 That was almost calculated.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prost.
New merchandise available, and this stuff is amazing. We've got a few awesome designs. We even have all new pint glasses and stickers. You know you want one of those glasses. I mean, you already drink a beer while watching the show anyway, so you might as well support the show and put your beer in one of our glasses. The link is in the description, so hit that link and pick up something from us today. Make sure that you use the code DUDES10 at checkout to receive 10% off your order. Again, that's DUDES, D-U-D-E-S, 10, the number 10, 10, at checkout to receive 10% off of your order. We appreciate you guys tuning in for another episode of Dudes and Brews. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever platform you're on, we're on. We have a YouTube channel, Dudes and Brews. We would love if you would subscribe there as well. If you are subscribed and you want to help us out just a little more, unsubscribe and resubscribe again. It sounds funny and stupid and kind of obnoxious, all of the subscribing and resubscribing and stuff, but it helps within these little algorithms games for like climbing the charts, because again, we are organic and we are where we are because of you guys.
Yeah, we really do appreciate your support. Shout us out. We really do love it when you guys interact with us, when you add us, mention us, put us on your stories, tag us, all that fun stuff, all the stuff the kids are doing. We like grabbing that stuff and we put it up for you guys. So we love, appreciate you so much. Keep having fun, drinking them brews, hanging with them dudes. Tune in next week for another episode of Dudes and Brews.